May you find happiness and peace, and may your home stand the test of time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. Today I'll be reacting to another video from Douglas Murray. So today's video is titled "It's Highly Undesirable, Douglas Murray School Muslim Activist Wearing Hijab in Britain." So without further ado, let's get started.
My mum, my sister don't wear it. It's me. It's my personal choice.
But yes, and in a free society, the opinions of other people also have to matter. It's not just about you exercising your choice. The way other people feel about that should be of some concern to you.
But you know, these feelings are coming from negative prejudices.
We have
coming from
You don't want men's
politicians.
opinions?
No.
You don't want men's opinions?
I'm sorry, we are going to have to end it there. I'm really sorry.
As the only man, I'm sorry you don't want to hear men's opinions.
You are about to see Douglas Murray tell the truth as it is. Douglas Murray debates a panel of Muslim scholars on the influence of religion, particularly Islam, in the West today. Douglas Murray speaks what is on most people's mind today in the West, but what most are afraid to say. Douglas Murray did not hold back.
Can I just begin with you, Fatima?
Yes.
56% of British people don't really support the wearing of the full face veil in public. They don't want it.
Well, I think it depends on where you take the poll, really, because, something that I've recently launched is a project called Secrets of a Muslim Woman, and it's all about letting people know why we do what we do, because I think a lot of it is to do with not really being familiar with it. You know, I mean, my message to the British public is that you've got nothing to fear. You know, this is a piece of cloth.
They don't feel that, though, do they? Because elsewhere in this poll, a majority said they don't know how to relate to a woman wearing a full face veil.
I think, you know, the people who have actually interacted with women who wear the face veil, people who work with them. I mean, we're in East London today. In East London, the veil is practically, you know, normal on the streets of East London. People who've actually interacted and worked with women who wear the veil have absolutely no problem with it. I think it's a fear of the unknown.
Douglas Murray, would you like to see the veil banned here?
Well, I think, like a majority of British people, I think that it should be banned in public places, particularly places like courtrooms, where it's absolutely imperative that a jury are able to see the faces of people who are accused. As for an overall ban, I think, look, my own opinion is that Niqab is highly undesirable. I think that we live in a society where people do show their faces, where huge amounts of our social interaction depend on people showing their faces. I think that it's very difficult to enforce a ban in public places like streets, but it should be certainly a desirable thing to discourage its wearing.
To impose a ban, but in principle you'd like to see one because you think in Britain it's unacceptable.
In public buildings, in courts, in schools, in places like this, absolutely, I think a ban would be very sensible. In streets and so on, I think it's difficult, but it should be societally discouraged.
Douglas Murray's stance on the ban of the niqab in public spaces in the UK, particularly in sensitive environments like courtrooms, is grounded in a broader argument about the fundamental requirements of a liberal and open society. A significant portion of human communication relies on facial expressions and visual cues, which are obscured when the niqab is worn. This impediment can hinder social interactions and, more critically, the basic operations of institutions that rely on facial recognition and expressions for identification and communication purposes. Douglas Murray's argument is supported by statistics and public opinion trends indicating a growing discomfort with the niqab in the UK. Surveys, such as those conducted by YouGov, have shown that a substantial majority of the British public supports restrictions on wearing the niqab in public spaces, especially in places where identification and open communication are essential, such as schools, airports, and courtrooms. This sentiment is not isolated to the UK. Similar attitudes can be observed across Europe, with countries like France, Belgium, and Denmark implementing various bans on full-face veils. The Muslim activists' counter-argument that negative sentiments towards the niqab stem from a lack of education and interaction with Muslim women who wear it, while calling for more understanding, overlooks the practical implications of such garments in public and civic life. It's essential to differentiate between promoting cultural sensitivity and recognizing the operational necessities of a society's public and legal systems. Beyond practical reasons, the niqab's presence in public life raises deeper questions about the integration and visibility of women in society. Critics like AI and Hirsi Ali have voiced concerns that the niqab may symbolize the segregation of women from public life and the suppression of their individual identities. Such perspectives are crucial in the debate over how liberal societies should navigate the delicate balance between respecting cultural and religious practices and upholding the principles of equality and openness.
accommodate religious expression in this country. You know, Jehovah's Witnesses who don't want blood transfusions, Sikh people who want to wear turbans. We make exceptions, you know, in certain situations. And so, look, you know, I really want to reach out to the public and say, you've got nothing to fear from us.
But take
We're
up
British. I was born in this country. I love this country.
Take up Yasmin's point that this is about exceptionalism. Take up Yasmin Alibhai-Brown's point about this is about exceptionalism.
We accommodate, don't we, in this country, and in my country, Britain, we accommodate religious expression. We do make exceptions for people, and there's nothing, and that's what I thought.
And we cannot destroy the minorities and the religious
there may be
belief in the name of equality.
But what if the majority feel uncomfortable, feel uneasy and say they don't want it?
I think then the onus is on us as well, isn't it? I mean, to actually reach out. And I'm hoping that this is just going one step towards that, to say to people, look, you know, we're human beings just like you.
But if I may, very quickly, religious freedom is an extremely important thing, and I think most people who would agree, I hope in this room, that Britain is the most tolerant place in the world to live, including as a Muslim.
Yeah.
But let's just add one thing to this, if I may. The issue of social interaction is very important, and not just to me, but obviously to a majority of the British people. Yeah. What I say tonight, what Yasmin says and other people say tonight, people see our faces, they know who said it. I'm sorry to say this, but nobody knows who you are. They can hear your name, they can't see you. If I say something stupid on television tonight, people know it's me saying it. If you do, with all due respect, you can disappear and no one knows.
No, we're not disappearing.
What does this say?
Come
the
on.
meaning of this thing is extremely important to address. The meaning of this thing is women are by nature dangerous to men and society. Therefore, they must be covered, they must be buried. That's the meaning of it. And that's what I cannot accept.
Douglas Murray, aligning with Yasmin Alibhai-Brown's commentary, emphasizes that the niqab symbolizes more than just a religious or cultural garment. It represents a deeper ideological stance on the role and visibility of women in society. The niqab reflects a view that women are inherently a source of temptation, necessitating their physical concealment from the public eye to maintain societal decorum. This perspective inherently contradicts the principles of gender equality and individual freedom championed in liberal societies. This critique resonates with broader feminist analyses of veiling practices. Scholars and activists argue that requiring women to cover their faces in public is a manifestation of patriarchal control over women's bodies and choices. Such practices, they assert, not only segregate women from the social and political life of their communities, but also reinforce the notion that women are primarily responsible for controlling men's sexual behavior, thereby perpetuating gender inequality. Statistics from various human rights organizations underscore the impact of such ideologies on women's rights and societal integration. For instance, reports from the United Nations have highlighted how dress codes enforced on religious or cultural grounds can impede women's access to services, employment, and education, limiting their opportunities for personal and economic development. The encouragement of niqab wearing in public settings not only hinders women's visibility and participation in public life, but also symbolically takes a step back in the hard-won advancements for women's rights. The niqab, in this view, is not just a personal or isolated choice, but a public statement with implications for how women's roles and rights are perceived and enacted in society.
Okay. I feel like people are getting it wrong here, you know. The both parties, they're right. I get where the Muslim ladies are coming from, and I get where the, you know, I don't know if she's a Christian though, but I get where Douglas is also coming from. I feel like they're both right, you know. If you want to work for me, I'll prefer to see the faces of whoever I'm employing. Okay, that is it. It makes sense. And based on the fact that they're having an interview, the audience need to know who they are communicating with or who is the person there. It makes sense. Well, if you check the rate of molestation in the Muslim community, it's very, very low. Check the state of rape in Muslim community, it's very, very low because of how they are being dressed, you know. Sometimes you don't need to cover your entire body, but dressing appropriately is important because, you know, men, we are wired differently. I don't mean you should go out there and start abusing women because they are not dressed properly. But I feel like sometimes when you dress decently, you are called some respect. The way you speak to these ladies is totally different from the way you speak to other ladies. Because this lady here, they show a sense of decency, a sense of morality, a sense of good upbringing because of how they have been dressed. That is how I see it. And a whole lot of men will prefer their women dressed properly. I get the judges or the other lady answering the question, she's properly dressed, she's dressed decently. But what we see today in social media is, it's just nothing to write home about. You see people basically going almost half naked. I know we have control of our body, it's our body, it's our decision. But at least it's your body. Your body should not cause me to sin or cause me to be distracted or even cause me to, like, in the Bible it said when you look lustfully, you've committed a sin. So at least for you to help the brothers out there, at least dress properly. And I think that is it. But maybe they are doing it excessively by covering their face, only letting their eyes to be open. But it's their choice. The same way we have rights to dress almost half naked, they also have the rights to dress decent. And also in this way, to me, I feel this shouldn't be a debate. This should be people accepting their differences. Okay? If you really want someone for their competence, I think their dressing should not matter. You see, I want to employ you based on the fact that you have something to provide to my company. I'm not employing you because of how you cover yourself. I'm employing you because of what you have upstairs or what you have in your head or your experience. So if these women are experienced in their field, I think we should respect their religion and respect their decision. That is my own opinion. I feel like I don't mind seeing my wife dress this way, but at least she should just dress decent. All the ladies said out there, they were all dressing decent. So decency is what I'm preaching for, okay? And apart from decency, I wish everyone should be allowed to do what they want to do, as far as it's not affecting the society. Dress in a way that you feel comfortable in. If you feel comfortable in dressing this way, it's totally fine. You have freedom of dressing. I think that should be a thing. Freedom to do whatever you want to do. Because I think this is the kind of, maybe not this kind of extremely covering, like I said before, but we should go back and teach our children decency. Because we feel like, yes, they should dress how they want, and now majority of people are roaming almost half naked online. And we are not complaining about it. Those are the people we need to call to order, and not someone that's trying to protect her dignity. Anyway, it's my own opinion, but I don't see any reason for debate out here. I feel like you are talking to the wrong set of people. You need to talk to people that are walking around half naked. Let them add a little bit decency in how they dress. Anyway, that's basically my own opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If it is the first time visiting the channel, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remain blessed.